Who's ready? Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom, rise? Even on an overcasty, gray, cold day, your boy Marky Saint still finds a way to shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm down here at the print shop. Down here at the print shop. Not about to smoke my morning motivation, but some weird energy just happening this morning, and I was just like, "The fuck's your problem?" You know what I'm saying? Your problem doesn't have to be my problem. Your energy doesn't have to be my energy, and your response is not always my response. And this is something that we're gonna have to talk about this morning. Motivation. If you get anything out of this, you already know. Like, share, subscribe below. But yeah, a lot of weird energy, a lot of blocking, a lot of negativity, and I'm gonna talk about how to avoid all of that. Let's go. So, wait, we're coping mechanisms, right? Not all of us have the same problems. Not all of us have the same focus, and not all of us have the same reaction. Matter of fact, I'm flying out in 3 days, and it's kind of like the funny that the static that comes my way. Yesterday, my friend had called me and asked for a domain. Hazel Eyes. And Hazel Eyes. Good morning. Muy. So cute. Hazel Eyes wanted her name as a domain name because someone was playing a video game as her. And I was giving her shit, talking about, you're going to have to send me some money. You're going to have to follow up. And my friend comes in and he goes, "Who are you talking to?" And I was like, "It's my friend Michaela. Shout out to Michaela. I give her a hard time. And I'm like, that's how we do it as Americans. We gotta try to finish each other's sentences or give each other a hard time and make sure that we stay accountable, because that's what friends do. And she was like, "Man, like, you're such an asshole." And I'm like, "Am I an asshole or am I accurate?" And then she's like, "It's being accurate." And I was giving her some shit, and all this took place. Believe it or not, I'm gonna be doing a photo shoot later today under this. I'm like, not much sunshine, and it's pretty cold outside. You can see my breath, but when you have a relationship, you get to know people. When you can press their buttons. When they're being aggressive. Even my friend this morning was chopping at me. I'm like, "Hey, we're gonna do that install," and he's like, "Nah, man." And he's getting, "No, I told you I got scheduled." I'm like, "I got scheduled too. I'm busy. I'm busy too, motherfucker." Giving me his static, and you can tell when your friends are. Look at that black crow fly by, right? Weird energy. You can tell when your friend's going through it. I know he's fighting with this girl and having some friction at home, but it bleeds. It bleeds on people. You don't act the same, And he apologized to me last week. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm stressed. I'm going through some things," and I seen it. And we got to powwow in the sauna and talk about it. And it's like, these things bleed into people. We don't act the same, and we act like we're always in frame, but odds are that it comes out of us sideways. Like, if you don't have your energy right at home, you probably take the energy wrong at work. And the other girl, she was like, "Yo, I need a domain name," and I took it the same. Like, "Hey, she needs a domain just like Michaela." And guess what? She blocked me. I was like, "What the fuck? What was that kind of energy? What did I do to you?" I took it seriously. And she was like, "Oh, I was just joking. I was being facetious, and I don't know you that well enough to joke with you." I'm like, "I take business seriously." And then she just blocked me. And I'm like, "I'm trying to help you." So I concurrently blocked her on my Instagrams, and I was just like, "You're weird as fuck, bro. Giving me that weird ass energy." Or another girl, "I want my sister to model." Okay, let's get her signed up. She blocked me too. I'm like, that's some weird ass energy. When you can't keep your shit straight and you start acting weird, I believe, as a person of energy, that it just comes out of you sideways. And this is the point that it came to me when I got my first DUI and I saw my ex-girlfriend at the bar. I started to drink heavily. My friend said, "Are you okay to drive?" And I said no. And then sure shit, I drove, and the cops busted me, and I busted out my wallet, and all my shit spilled all over me, and I got arrested, and they put me in the bin. And it turned out I wasn't okay. I wasn't okay seeing my ex-girlfriend, and therefore I started to drink heavily, and therefore I got a DUI. energy, and it comes out as an output. It's like it comes out, and you could say that you're fine, but if you're not fine at home or you're not fine in your mind, odds are you'll pick a fight. And people be like, what's your problem? Why are you butting heads with everybody? And it wasn't me. I feel great. I feel excited to go on this journey. I'm looking at the strength of Marquis Saint getting back, being able to travel the world and get my shit back on track. And I'm excited for Vietnam here in a couple of days. In less than 3 days, I'll be flying in the friendly skies all the way to Abu Dhabi. No. Is it Abu Dhabi? Yeah, I'm going to Abu Dhabi, bro. And being able to see the world and go travel again, turn this cold shit, no sunshine, into some hot shit, into like 33 degrees, which I don't even know how to translate this. Double it and add 30, so 60 plus 30. It's 90 degrees in Vietnam right now, and I'm switching the cold of Finland for the warmth of Vietnam, and watching myself travel the world while I'm editing my videos and showing all these cool things that I've done, and it impresses me. I got to impress myself that I have the strength to take on things and turn them into sunshine. Even on a cloudy day, we're gonna have a model come out today. It's not much for a son to do the photo shoot, but we got it planned, and she should be here in about 2 hours, an hour and a half, and then we're gonna go do the whole photo shoot. Oh, my cigarette went out. What the hell? Come on now. But you don't have to take on people's energies. You can keep your own frame in your own brain and not have to react to people's energy. Let them be. Let them be confused. Let them be angry. And remember that you can maintain your own energy. What's up, Babby? I see you, bro. It's a thing that you don't have to wear other people's moods. You can be your own mood with your own attitude, with your own focus and your own energy in the places you want to be. It's a fantastic thing. It's called self-discipline. It's called self-esteem. And it's also called self-care. You don't have to be the type of person that bumps heads with everybody. If people don't want to have the good energy that they want to have, don't hang out with them. You don't like the energy at your work? Why do you work there? You don't like the way that your life is going? Why don't you do something about it? These are things that we have control over, our reaction. And that's what they say. It's not what things happen to you, it's the way you react to them. So, yeah, sure, it's not always sunny and rainbows and sunshine, but you still can get your photo shoot done. The person that wanted the domain name, I was on full fucking hands on deck, ready to help her, and then she blocked me. Guess no help, and then let me block you from my accounts too. I don't need that kind of energy. I don't have to have these kind of people that say subversive shit to me, and then come at me awkwardly. You know what I'm talking about. The motherfuckers try to take it out on you, and that's not something I'm willing to onboard. Same like my mom. She wanted to fucking talk crazy. I haven't talked to her in 6 months. 5 minutes later, I'm hanging up on her, and of course she sends me another email. I didn't read it. I gray rocked it. For people that don't know, gray rocking is letting someone else read that email or look at that message, so that way it's not in my brain and I don't just have to digest those things. I can stay focused and get my business done with my business partner. And we had a fantastic meeting on Zoom call. What's up, Cloud? I see you. Without having to fucking fixate on what's going wrong, I can fixate on what's going right and focus on my business instead of the drama that comes with it. Talked to my business partner, and he said, I don't want to go to the beach. 2 out of the 3 partners were like, we're going straight to the beach. I bought my ticket for only $30 to fly from Ho Chi Minh to Pho Quoc, the island. That's right, white sand beaches. I'll be there in a week. And some people, they just stay there. They stay there in their mind. They stay in these cloudy visions or cloudy days, and they allow it to fixate or obsess them on what's not going right. When you can fixate on what's going or what's going wrong, when they're on the wrong, they want to keep going. What's wrong? What's negative? What's bad? What's cloudy? When I can find sunshine, and find what's right in my life and stay focused on my business. And finally talked to my business partner, and he saw how cheap the flights were, and he said, okay, I'll come and meet you guys. So at first he was like, I don't want to be on the beach, and I was like, come meet us, dude. We're all meeting in this fucking country so we can all touch laptops and get our business right. Come hang out with the boys and come get your toes in the sand, man. It's only $30 to go take a flight. And he started to look at it, and he was like, yeah, what's up, boys? Moy. And I was like, yeah, you can fucking stay focused on things that put energy towards things that can move you forward instead of keeping you in that negative mood, or in that distraction, or whatever else is going wrong. You can go right. So first you go left, first we go left, first you go right, then you go wrong. My friend said once very poignantly, you don't have to go wrong. You don't have to go to the dark side. You don't have to absorb other people's negative energy. If they're getting weird about it, let them be weird. I'm weird, you're weird, but there's another type of weird when you're putting out the things where you're stressed and it comes out of you, and it bleeds into your business, then you're going to lose. I found it in myself when I was so stressed when I had my shop. I was starting to argue with some of my customers. I even got into a pushing match with one of my customers because my energy was off. It's just the truth. I have to keep it real with my own energy. It wasn't right, so my business started to go wrong, and I wasn't fixating on the things that I could control. So I started to say, hey, let me control my own emotions, not get mad at my business partner because he doesn't want to go to the beach. I said, hey, be free, do what you got to do. And eventually he capitulated and went like, okay, I do want to meet you guys, I do want to see you guys, and let's meet up. And therefore we will be at Vietnam. We all will be in the same country, and we will all be in the same city, and we all will be touching laptops, and we'll be working on some things instead of working against each other or arguing or finding ways to infight. We can put our fight towards the business and make some income instead of infighting. You know what I mean? And this is one of these things that we have the ability to take situations that are sour, take in the lemons and start making lemonade. And this is the thing that most people have a tough time doing. They let the minutia or the little shit that goes on in our lives to go for, I'm going to let it dictate the rest of my vibe or rest of my day because one thing didn't go my way. You don't have to be that way. You can be the way you want to be. You want the way you want it to see it and the way you want it to outcome it by focusing your energy on things that are working instead of what's not working. Think of what's the work that I can do. It's almost like the distraction that we use. A lot of us use distraction techniques because we'll be like so bored or so alone or lonely and not feeling in our right mind. It's a perfect time to go for the gym, go for a walk, or put some energy into the work that needs to get done instead of the distractions and wasting of time and finger fucking our phones. You can literally go write that book that you need to do. Like I said the other day, I was watching a guy who said it's only 30 minutes. Yeah, sure, it's only 30 minutes on your phone, but it could have been 30 minutes of walking. Or sure, yeah, it's only 30 minutes of eating, but that's the same amount of time it takes for a restaurant. It takes you 30 minutes to make a meal at your own home, cheaper, healthier than you would get from a restaurant. But if you sat there in the restaurant, it's going to take away from your finances. You don't know how much salt, fried, and oil they're putting on it, but you can choose it at your own home. It's the same 30 minutes, but you get to choose, how am I going to spend that 30 minutes? Sure, it's just 30 minutes, but it's the 30 minutes that you decide to put towards you, like I do with the morning motivation, or to just sit there and let it eat you up alive, and then that 30-minute pass by, and then nothing happened, and now you're even more stuck in your weird energy, and you can't seem to avert it or make it go in a different direction. So we all have the opportunity to make some lemonade, find some shine, and turn our attitude around so that way we're doing something productive instead of destructive. You know what I mean? We can be doing something constructive instead of misconstruing. And a lot of people want to do that. They want to go out there in the world and bring their bad energy because they're in a bad mood and things aren't going their way, or it's raining, or it's cold, or it's gray. You can still find a way to still go do a photo shoot. I highly encourage you to watch this in about an hour and a half when I go live and I record behind the scenes of the photo shoot that I'm going to do with this queen, and get shit done. A lot of the things that we have, when shit happens, it shuts us down. We were like, I don't, it's not, today is not my day. It's still a full day. You know what I mean? Like, there's still an opportunity to fucking find a touchdown and find a way and figure it out versus it's just not working out and I gotta go. It seems like that's what's happening with our divorce rate or our relationships. It doesn't go our way, so we go get a divorce and we separate versus, hey, this is something that both of us can work on and still have something as a team, than versus a breakup and making things separate instead of equal. And this is one of the things that all of us have the opportunity to do, but we might not have the mental attitude or fortitude to do it that way. We'll be in a mood and we'll be like, well, everything's all gray, so therefore I'm going to just get destructive and more distracted and more negative than hey, I can actually find something that is working and, like, something to be proud of, like doing my videos and almost getting them done. I've got them almost all scheduled. I got my model showing up. We're gonna get. I finally got all my shirts done. I started with 50 shirts at the beginning of this summer, and I'm down to the last 2 shirts that's going to this model and 1 shirt for me. And I got rid of all my shirts. Boom, that's a touchdown. I started editing all my videos, and they're almost all done right before I got to travel, so I can be free to travel. And all my videos are scheduled for video in a sec, and they're gonna be popped off. Great. I finished all the credits for the AI, and now I can relax and go be on the beach and not worry about any of these things, sitting on my laptop all the fucking days. No, I'm going to be on the beach enjoying my time, building my business with my team and doing something with my day, versus somebody that's like still trying to keep their head buried into a bunch of stress and forgetting about the blessed, and that's what it is. It's like, it's blessings over stressings. It's belonging and becoming and being versus feeling and emoting and negativity. It just doesn't seem to take place. But it happens to all of us. Something's going to happen to you where it's not the way that you want it to go. Well, change the output. Change the outcome. Go. Flip the script, as we say in the streets. You don't have to stay that way. You don't have to keep a bad mood. You don't have to keep going on into the gray, into the darkness, into the weird energy that people give you. You don't want to fucking get a website? Fine, block me. I don't have to focus on you. You're too busy. Me too. I'm busy on getting my shit done so I can move ahead in the dreams that I have. And I can thank myself for putting the energy into my business and keeping my team together and meeting everybody in Vietnam and in a different country and touching laptops and finally getting all of us to work together at the same time. Making all the dreams mine and achieving the things that I've wanted for so long, versus, oh, it's not working, we're not getting along, or people aren't communicating properly, or so there's a little bit of infighting. You can feel that energy. You can feel when somebody doesn't respond to your messages or just leaves you on red or wants to block you, and you're like, good, that's less things that I have to focus on. A negative person that was going to quit on me anyway, that really didn't have my back, that was trying to talk shit and slack. I think one chick was like, that's got scrub energy. And I was like, well, here, some block energy. And then she reached out on Instagram, sending me some nudie pics. And I'm like, here's another block. I don't know how many other accounts that I'm following you on, but let me make sure that I'm blocking you on all those too, so you don't have any access to me, so I don't have your weird energy. And this is the thing that we can all do, but most of us want to be a drama queen, and we want to get into it and argue with somebody, argue with my mom, argue with some random chick that wanted a website, or infight, with some of my business partners. It was like, all that's a waste of energy. What we need to do is just let people be. If they want to get into the fold, let's do something constructively and get something done, versus destroying things and nothing gets done at all. And then the time goes by and you're wondering why I don't get any of my goals. And it's like, because you didn't apply yourself. You didn't want to say, hey, maybe it's not going my way, but today I'm going to still get this done so I can make sure that I'm at least moving myself forward and moving past what's going on with the weirdo energy or whatever is going sideways and not the way that I wanted to. What can I focus on that I do have control over? my self-discipline and my own reaction speed and my own output. If I decide to do something about it, then I guess what, I can actually move past it instead of living in it and being around it, and then nothing happens, the time still goes by. Guess what, I still did something with my time, and something that I can be proud of and be like, well, at least that got done. You know what I mean? Sure, shit happened and there's a shit storm around me, and things are getting kind of cloudy and gray. It doesn't matter that I still get my shit done today, still fucking finish all my videos, and still get to meet up with my team and make the dream a reality instead of just a possibility. I'm possible is inside of impossible, and we make those things possible. The things that we didn't think were even possible before, now all of a sudden become more possible because we focused our energy on to something that was positive and momentum and pushing forward than something that was like trying to drag me into a drama llama situation, or worried about some random chick that I barely know, that I don't even know you that well to be joking. Yeah, you don't know me that well to be joking. I'm taking business seriously. I don't joke about business. You can go get blocked and I'll move forward still. Like you're still stuck on not actually really doing something. She's like, I'm working all these days, I'm working 90-hour weeks, and my feet are still hurt from doing all these dishes and having a long day. And I was like, cool story, bro. I got less than 3 days to travel internationally to a whole different hemisphere of this planet. You're not busier than me. I got plans, man. I got to stick to my appointments, and whether you are participating or not, I'm still going to focus on my goals. I'm still going to go after it and get my touchdowns. And that's why it's so hard to get touchdowns, is because there's going to be a whole defense in front of you, a whole, was it 11 people or on a football team trying to stop you from fucking getting ahead, and you need to get to the goal line and you want to cross the ball across and touch it down. Well, guess what, it's going to get past those people, past that negativity, and past that weirdo energy, and say, no matter what you do, I'm still gonna do me. Do your worst, for I will do mine. I still have a plan to fucking make it happen. And she just said it. She just texted me. She said, I can't make it to the shoot today. My schedule changed and I have to leave for someplace during the day. Thank you for the opportunity. And let's see another time when you visit Finland in the future. Have a great trip to Vietnam. She's just super flaked on me, and guess what? That's the whole thing. I called her last night. I said, what time are you going to be here? And then the last time she was like on some, hey, I'm going to call you after work. She didn't call me after work, texted me and flaked on me literally with, she's supposed to be here an hour and a half, and that didn't happen. And you're just like, whatever, just chick, I'm here to go. Yeah, I'm still going to go to Vietnam. I'm still going to make my dreams a reality, regardless of flaky chicks that don't keep their word, or aren't reliable models. There's a reason why I call it reliable models, is because it's an oxymoron. Most people say models aren't reliable, girls aren't reliable, and if their feelings change or their schedule change, then everything else doesn't feel the same for them. I'm still gonna find a girl to wear my shirts, do the photo shoots, and get shit done, instead of versus like, I can flake, I'm not reliable, and my moods change, I don't keep my word. I was literally on the phone with this girl last night, making sure that we had a plan. I even did a reconnaissance of where I wanted the photos to get done, and how we were going to do it, and what she was going to wear, what shirts I was going to make. Now she's on some, I'm not going to be able to make it, I'm a super flake. Well, guess what? I'm still going to go to Vietnam. I'm still going to get my touchdowns. I'm still going to be in Abu Dhabi taking pictures. And you wonder how I got to be able to live my life, is because I kept moving forward. You don't want to show up? Good. I'm going to get something done. You're not reliable? I'm going to stay reliable to me. You're super flaky. Well, I'm going to be super consistent and be the antithesis of that kind of behavior or that kind of energy. Like I said, it's that weirdo energy. She just literally flaked on me just now, and you don't see me changing. I'm on some good. It's kind of cold outside. You know what I mean? And I got better shit to do with my time, like finish these videos, get my touchdown, and move ahead. So all these things that make it negative and people don't understand, or they want to do what they got to do, you got to do you, man. You got to be able to move you, even if people come by you on a bike and you don't understand what they're doing or what they're going on with your life, to get your touchdowns, you got to be singularity focused on what you're doing, and only going after what you want to do, instead of fixating on all these flaky people, or people that want a domain name but then they're just joking, or maybe they're mad at home so they take it out on you. I'm on some, it's time to go, bro. I'm looking up at all the yellow in the trees, and it's this on the ground, all this right here. It's time to go, and then the cold on my hands. I'm time to warm up my soul, and I can't wait to be on the other side of the world, away from flaky girls or people that are inconsistent. I mean, I literally was just talking to her tonight. We rescheduled 3 different times because she was supposed to do it the next day, and then it got flaky, and then she was supposed to call me after work, and then she didn't. And then I called her last night, and we had the plan, and now it's an hour and a half, and she's got the day off, and this is the only day I got for her. I even worked my schedule around my friends eating, and we were supposed to do an installation, and now all that's gone to the wayside because I had this plan with her, and I made plans to be with her. What's up, Fardid? I see you, bro. And now she just changed last minute, and she's like, avoid these people, avoid that energy, avoid people that don't know how to be progressive. They're never going to get to their goals. They're always going to find a way to capitulate. They're always going to find a way to excuse themselves. That's why I say I see you on the other side of your excuses, because there's going to be something in your mind that you say to yourself, like, hey, I want this to be on time, or will you be there for me if I need something, like help me move, or what I mean? Everybody's so needy when they want something, right? When they want it enough, they'll figure out a big enough a reason why to do it, and then all of a sudden they'll have the energy, they'll have the fortitude, and they'll have the stick-to-itiveness to get that touchdown, instead of finding a way that distracts them every day and capitulate on their plans. I'm gonna still move ahead. I'm still going to go to Vietnam. I'm still going to meet up with my team, and I'm still going to move my business so I can touch laptops with my business partner, make sure these sites stay live, start collecting money, and I can continue on my awesome life where I can go to Brazil and buy coconut water, which I'm watching today, and see all the beautiful graffiti and art that's on the walls, and still go to Abu Dhabi, even though I've never been to the UAE before, and take pictures and go to the Sheikh Mohammed's and still earn some money, because I had another guy call me last night and add some more to his order. And it's all these things that I need so I can keep my journey moving forward, than fixating on the negativity of people that are just like, yeah, I'm going to be there. I'll be there in an hour and a half, and then just literally send me a message on some, I'm super flaky, I won't be able to make it, have a good trip in Vietnam. Not only am I going to have a good trip in Vietnam, I'm going to have a good life. I don't fixate on people that don't have the right energy. If they're gonna flake on me, they're gonna flake on themselves, and they're gonna flake on their dream, not my dream. My dream still gets 100% of my energy. It gets 100% of my focus, and it gets 100% of my output. So that way it moves forward instead of going backwards into this negative place where things don't happen, and you break your word with me. You're gonna break your word with yourself, and that's what people do. They end up letting themselves down. She thinks she's letting me down on this photo shoot. I can still make the shirt for her, and she can go do the photo shoot with her friends, and then I'll get a free model out of it. At the same time, I don't have to fixate on her and her reasons on why she's flaky or not reliable, or not going to do what she says she's going to do. Stay away from people like that. You know what I mean? Like, they're already showing you who they really are, and you just got to trust and believe it. Like, thank you for showing me who you really are, because I would have kept going beyond that and putting energy into you and trying to get my touchdowns for the photo shoot. I'm down to just 3 shirts. One's going to be for me, so I got 2 for her. Make it and leave. I still got 2 shirts from 2 years ago when my other homies were supposed to pick them up, and every time I see him, he's like, yeah, bro, I'll pick them up. Yeah, right, when it happened. So we all started to joke, and now it's a running joke with everybody. It was like, yeah, bro, we're still gonna see you. And then we saw him at the bar, and we both sat down, and we're like, I heard we gave you a hard time last week when they saw you, because my buddies are like, are you ever going to come get these shirts? And he was just like, yeah, I'm going to get these shirts. Still hasn't come get these shirts. Years later, these people just don't care, and it's not my job to make them care. It's if they don't want to care, then they're never going to care. My job is to care more about what I'm doing with my life and my own direction and my own energy than fixate on people that lie about it, flake about it, and let themselves down. Your word is your bond. And if you don't keep your word to yourself and to other people, odds are you're not going to keep your word to your dream. So trust and believe when people show you who they really are. Stay away from weird energy because it's always going to come out sideways, and stay away from flaky people because they're always going to try to slow down your progress. And I'm not about that life. So I love my life. uh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna be out fucking leaving this cold and this weird and people that folk, and go somewhere with my time, go somewhere with my life, and do something with my energy. And that's this morning's motivation. If you got anything out of this, you already know. Like, share, subscribe below. And as always, peace and love. And Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But the other side of your fear, the other side of fear, the other side of your excuses, like all these other motherfuckers, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace. See you guys.